I really appreciate that, man. It's super cool.
No worries.
I was just talking to Pablo before because Pablo's hooked me up with a new wetty for the summer, little short arm wetsuit.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Ripker's
yeah,
so good.
yeah.
So quick.
He's been so nice to me, man. He's such a legend. It's
Yeah, Pablito
crazy.
is amazing. So good.
Like,
He sent me a text after the other day, like, Gony, Robbie was super stoked. Thanks, man.
yeah.
See,
He's such a nice guy, and he's
love that
like
day.
him and his family have been really, really nice to me, and their kids have classes at my office. So
Okay.
yeah, so sick. Yeah, cool.
Mario, thank you. Coral.
Eso es, majísimos, very nice kids. Yeah, man.
Mm,
So speaking about parents, like your parents have obviously been a big influence on you. Like I follow, I think both your parents on Instagram,
yeah,
especially your dad, the Spanish Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
I need to order some. They look sick.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so sick.
yeah. You gotta order one. Yeah. Um, yeah, they're both legends. I'm super lucky, you know. That's like winning the lottery. You don't choose when you're born who's your family. So
Yeah.
yeah, they've always been super supportive since the beginning and really nice people, like educating me and my brother really nicely and with an open mind. And when we were kids, just like, yeah, putting us in contact with like sports and surfing came also. Like my dad was surfing already in Argentina, like in Uruguay, in Punta del Este when he was a kid, and was like shaping his own boards, making his own skateboards, like back
Wow.
in the day. Yeah, crazy.
Far.
And then I started when I was 7 because of my dad was already surfing. I was skating before, but yeah, it changed my life for
And
sure.
like the other day when we were talking, you spoke a little bit about like some parents could maybe take surfing like really, really seriously. Like, and I've seen it myself, like at the beach, and you see that their parents are super, super involved, which I think is positive. But to a certain
Yeah.
level, like, what were your parents like? Were they super mellow in that
Mm.
respect?
Yeah, I also see a lot of parents like supporting their kids at competitions and stuff. That there sometimes it's hard for them to control themselves, and they are supporting but pushing too much, and then it's a bit dangerous for the kids that they can be like burned out. You have to
Yeah,
be careful. But and yeah, my parents were really supportive, but never putting pressure on me. They were
yeah,
just supporting and mellow, you know. And then if I was winning, they were super stoked, and if I was losing, they were also they were not as stoked, but they were always trying to make me happy, you know, like and
yeah,
to teach me that that's it's just a little thing in life, and then there's other things, so you have to move on for the next one. Think about the next one and what you did wrong, and it's okay. But yeah, I was lucky. Also, Pablo Gutierrez's parents were super supportive, but also really nice. They
yeah.
did it really well.
Did they surf? I did. Did they surf?
I don't think so.
Sometimes that's
Pablo's
better,
brother,
right?
yeah, Pedro, yeah, but Pablo's parents, I don't think so. But they were always at the contest, and I remember Inés, Pablo's mom, was always with a paper, and because back then there were not like scores that like instant scores. The speaker were so you were in the heat competing and then coming out, and they were giving the results.
Yeah,
So we never knew, you know. So when we were coming out of the water, Pablo's mom was always uh, putting scoring, and she was really good. So she was
really.
always scoring. And she's like, "Oh, Gony, I'm gonna score your heat." I was like, "Okay, cool." So when we were coming out of the water, she's like, "Oh, you made it." In my notes you made it. Oh, cool. And then she was really good. Usually it was right. So that was really, really cool. She was like always like, yeah, scoring every wave, like, it's all good. He doesn't get anything. He's like, it's so cool. He didn't get much. And yeah, I was impressive because she was really good. And I remember, yeah, in all the pro juniors, Inez was judging.
What a legend.
It was crazy, yeah. And
How good's that?
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
epic. You always get those characters like at the beach, like someone's mum who's like really into it and like really supportive of all the other kids. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
That's
and
great.
yeah, Ode's parents, Arit's parents, they were always like the same, really nice people, supportive, and but they did it right. They never put pressure on us. That's why we enjoyed it so much, and
Yeah,
we kept improving, and we really wanted to do all those comps because we already put pressure on ourselves.
yeah,
But our parents, they never put, so it was cool. Yeah, you see other kids like kind of like not enjoying, and because pressure from the sponsors, pressure from
yeah,
the family, and in the end, wow, competition is like pretty heavy too, And when you are young, it's a lot to handle,
yeah,
psychologically. Like if you have to deal with losses and not fun, Like,
yeah, yeah,
but if you when you lose, you have people like giving you a hug. It's like it's all good, no worries. Okay, so yeah, and you have to be okay with with losing.
yeah. Definitely. As what we said the other day, that's probably when you learn the most and when you grow the most,
Yeah, that's it.
for sure.
And yeah, well, you learn a lot in competition. That's for sure. That's one thing that it has taught us a lot of things. The WQS, all the pro juniors, like not just for surfing, in general for life. Like
Yeah,
you have to fight a lot. You have to be persistent. You have to effort, make like give always 100%. You suffer, like, but it's good for the future. Always the life's not easy. So if you have a really easy life, then when you have a problem, a little one, it's like looks huge. But when you're like doing all those comps and traveling the world and going to Australia, losing first heat, like wow, then you get super down. You have to fight to get back to get that confidence back for the next comp, or like you
yeah.
know. And yeah, there's a lot of things involved that people don't really see because the surfing as a professional, it looks amazing from outside, and it's amazing, but there's also hard things that it's hard to understand when you are not doing it. But yeah, it made us like really strong people. Like,
I think it's a massive sacrifice as well because if you
mm,
think about it, like when you go onto the QS or you do the pro juniors and that, like maybe a lot of people going to university and thinking about their sort of like professional lives and how to like make a living because at the end of the day you need to make a living, you need to have a job, and
yeah,
a lot of like pro surfers they go on the QS and they sacrifice that time and maybe they
mhm.
don't make it. And then they end up having to think about, hey, what am I going to do with my life when I'm 26, 27, 28?
Yeah,
And
it's not
I don't
easy.
know what
Like
to do. So it's a lot of
it's
pressure and it's a big
a
sacrifice.
lot because you like okay putting all your effort, all your life into one thing that you love, but you every day you dedicate yourself to surfing and training for those comps, travel the world with a goal. If you don't get to that goal, that's super, really, really almost impossible. And suddenly, like you get contracts from sponsors, but you're never totally like 100% sure that the year after you're gonna have that same deal.
Exactly.
So you're
Even
like,
at the top level, like even like John or whoever.
you're like suddenly like in December like they
Yeah,
cut budgets, they change the strategy, and you're out, and you like have zero. It's like wow. So and it's hard because traveling and doing all those events, you have to spend a lot of money. So you have a budget, and you have to spend that, manage that budget to go and do those comps to try achieve your goals. But you spend a lot of money, so it's hard to save money. Depends on what kind of contract you have, but yeah, so you have always in the back of your head, like if you lose your sponsors, you know what you do because all you've been doing all your life it's surfing and competing. So it's like suddenly like it happened to almost all of the surfers that they even if even the best ones, even if they have money, they made like an amazing career and they are
yeah,
good. They like when they finish their career and stop competing, and they don't get paid anymore by sponsors. They like get into depression. Most of them, because they don't know what to do, and they're like, wow, like, and you have to learn how to live again. Like, you're still gonna live for a long time, and
You're still
you know,
young at like
like,
35,
oh,
40,
and you didn't go to university. Like, like, wow. Some people don't know what to do, and get super lost. And yeah, I was watching so it's not easy, but because people think, pro surfers, yeah, okay, but it's not like, that you get a salary for forever, like,
Yeah.
and you have to dedicate all your life, or like every day, all day, to that if you want to be the best. Like, if not, so it's hard to combine with studying or working. Um, so yeah, that you have to sacrifice a lot of things. And but in my case, I was lucky. Like riding for Volcom for
A long time.
21 years.
21 years, far out.
Yeah, I was 13, and now I'm 35. Still supported by Volcom, and
Sick.
I'm so thankful. Like, and other sponsors that helped me a lot through my career, and still living from surfing. So, and but yeah, it's gonna end. I know it. And yeah, I have my own company, accessories company called Jam
Yeah,
Traction with
I've
Marlon
seen that. Yeah.
Lindsay. We started that 5 years ago. Also thinking, we started without thinking about the money, just thought about, because we needed accessories. We didn't have a sponsor at the time. We thought about making our own stuff, like the stuff we like. So we started, but just like fun, and then, but also thinking about our future, like, okay, when we are not professional surfers anymore, we at least we have something to focus on, and a business. And and we've been learning a lot. It's been 5 years, and it's flowing. It's like and we're growing, and we are all over Europe and South Africa now,
Yeah, I
starting
saw that last
Australia.
year. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
so sick. And yeah, the Caribbean, like, hopefully start in Japan soon. And yeah, a lot of work, but it's been really fun. And I learned a lot. I never thought I could have a company, and like go to a shop and sell my products. So it's
Yeah.
like, no way. Or, design draw a sketch of a deck pad, and then like 6 months later have it on my board, or go to the beach and see a kid with the deck pad I designed. Like, I remember when I was drawing that deck pad in an airplane in my iPad, and then when you see it, like on the beach, someone like, wow, so good. It's
That's
pretty
so
cool.
sick. Yeah, man.
And but yeah, I was watching the other day, during the quarantine. I was watching a live interview with Alex Gray, and he was interviewing Margot. Brendan Markison was like the first free surfer ever, and one of the best surfers in the world. And Alex Gray is a really close friend of mine. We traveled when we were juniors. He was staying with me when we came to Europe, and we were both in the Volcom team. We spent time in Hawaii, Fiji, and all that. And it was crazy interview, because he was. They were talking about the same thing. They were both. They went through depression, really heavy
Yeah, because
depression.
Margot's wife died, didn't she? Yeah, not long. Was
I
it his
don't
wife?
know.
Yeah, I think his wife died not long ago. Yeah, a few years back. Margot's wife died a few years back, man. Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah,
heavy. I didn't
yeah.
know, but
And I know Alex lost his brother when he was young
Alex
as
has
well.
his brother,
Yeah.
when he was like 17. And but not only because of that, they were like depressed, but because of surfing. When they
Lost their
finished their
sponsors.
careers, when they lost their main sponsor, like when Margot lost Billabong, and was like, and stopped getting paid, it was like, wow, it
He
stopped
was like an icon.
for
Like he was a
2 years.
Billabong icon, wasn't
I
he? He was just a pure icon for
Yeah,
Billabong, Margot.
Margot is like, that guy has to
Like
be
Oki,
Villamon forever. Like, okay, like, I can't believe they dropped him.
similar to
Yeah.
Alex with Vulcan, man.
And Alex was
That was a big
welcome to
surprise.
it was
Yeah.
like 15 years,
Mm.
and then should be like forever, But yeah, Alex was saying that he was depressed for so long, really heavy, and now it's good. But He was like, "Wow, I have the best life, the dream life. Spend the whole winter in Hawaii at the Welcome House, wake up, surf pipe, then go there, go to wherever I want." He was like saying, "Okay, I want to go to surf Canada or whatever, and make a film, and And I was doing it Mexico, and suddenly no more sponsor, and you're like, wow, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Like it's like they like he. It's normal you get depressed, and you have to be ready for sure. Because by the way, I guess not only surfers but all like sports athletes
Yeah.
when their career finishes, they get depressed because they've been doing it forever for 20 years. The same thing is something that they love, and then they're used to that routine, and suddenly it's a super drastic change. And yeah, but it's super interesting. It was super interesting listening to them, how
That's sick.
they went through it, and how they were talking about it, and like saying that if it happens to you, it's normal. You
Yeah.
need to talk to your friend or psychologist. It's okay, but yeah, the more it happens to more people than we think,
Yeah.
and looks like
Sure.
the best life ever. But yeah, it's something that you have to be ready for because
Definitely.
then it's like reality. Boom.
Exactly, the real life, yeah. And what were your parents like?
Yeah.
So when it became like, I don't know, apparent that when you were like 18, 19, I imagine that it was going to become your job or you could make a living from it. What were your parents thinking? Were they like, yeah, go for it, do it? Or were they like, oh, maybe you need to think about, were they cool with you? Like, because it is a big, big decision to put all your eggs in one basket to become a professional surfer and make all those
Yeah.
sacrifices.
Yeah, no, they were super stoked because I was happy, I was doing what I loved, and I was getting paid for it. So the teachers at school, at high school, when I finished high school, they were like, "Wow, what are you gonna study in university?" And I said, "Look, I'm not going to university right now because I don't know what to study, and I gonna dedicate all my life to professional surfing now. I'm already getting paid by my sponsor, so and for doing what I love the most, so I have to take this opportunity." And then they were like, they didn't really understand it because in Galicia there were not professional surfers at the time, and no one was living from like professional surfing, so it was harder for them. If that was Australia or California, they
Yeah,
would not even a question. Okay, go for it. But they were like, "Wow, but you're a good student, Goni. What you should go to university." And I said, "I can study after when I stop competing. But right now, it's now or never. Like it's surfing is now study. I can study when I'm 40. It's all good." And they're like, okay. And then I won the World Juniors. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I kept winning events. They were like seeing me in the newspaper and that, and they were like, "Ah, cool." I they were impressed, and they were like, "Wow, you did really well." They were super happy,
that's
happy
so
for me.
cool. That's
Yeah,
epic, man. And
because at the time
was that when
I
you
was
sort of
the only
like
surfer there in my school. There were
really?
not even surfers. I was the only one that was surfing in the whole school. No one
That's
surfed.
crazy. And then you became to be one of the best in Europe, of course, and like obviously a big name in the whole world. And as you just said, making a living from surfing, and then obviously that giving you the opportunity to build a business. Yeah, it's so sick and a massive achievement. That's a huge achievement to build a life doing something that you love. And then obviously you're intelligent and you're thinking about the future for when you are sort of like late 30s, early 40s with your business. Is it just you and Marlon, the founder?
Yeah,
And you run it
yeah,
together.
yeah. That's me and Marlon. And yeah, we started with Kike. It's a Spanish friend. He owns Feather Fins. He is in Coruña.
Cool.
Um, and me and Marlon started the whole idea, and then we partnered with Kike because he was taking care of the logistics, the
Yeah.
warehouse and everything.
Yeah.
And just we were traveling so much, we couldn't do everything. And in the end, few years with Kike, and then we split. So now it's just me and Marlon doing everything. But we do everything. But now we have a warehouse and we don't make the boxes anymore, like, because as we still traveling, and we don't have the time to be doing that anymore. But we do design, team, we do sales, we do everything, like factories, production, everything. And
That's
now, yeah,
crazy.
now it's crazy. It's a lot of work, and without an office or anything. Just like imagine,
No
like
way.
sending an invoice before getting in the plane, or like I remember before the finalists are out a few years ago, I was sending an invoice to a surf shop that was like super urgent, like, oh, okay, cool. And then 30 minutes later, I was wearing my wetsuit to compete in the final against Jorgen, and I won. So it's okay. You can be like. Uh, it will also sometimes help me that to have my head in somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then when I was going surfing, I was like, wow, super focused and super enjoying so much the contest, because from when I was like 26 to 30, those years I was not as motivated, because I was like, there's so many years doing the same.
Yeah.
and and then with Jam helped me a lot to appreciate and give value to my surfing career
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
because sending emails and doing stuff like a business sometimes is tiring, even if it's your own company and you love it. Like then when I was going surfing, I was like so happy, like thinking, okay, this is amazing. and
Therapeutic.
then and going and like going to all the comps again, like super happy, like thinking, wow, this is epic, and it's not gonna be forever. So
Yeah.
really enjoyed it again. But there were a few years there I was like going to the comps without like same motivation. I was like just going because I had to go,
Yeah.
like kind of like felt bad if I wasn't going, but also I was going just like
Just to be there.
ah, and in the end, you're not doing well, But it's normal, I guess. It's like so many years doing the tour. But yeah, last years I was like, okay, I'm gonna choose the events I really want to go,
Yeah.
and go 100%, not go just to go because it's stupid.
Are you happy now
Yeah,
competing?
really happy. I love competing, still love it, and preserving. And I like the fact that makes you improve. To compete makes you uh, give your best and keeps you fresh, because I feel when I don't compete that I'm enjoying a lot, like free surfing, but I you get to like comfortable, and you can give more. And when you go to comps and you see all the kids raping, and like, wow, and if you wanna get a good result, you have to really perform. So it gets the best of you out of. So yeah, that's why I love competing, because it makes me surf better. Yeah, I love the feeling also of winning heats, of course, but I like it because I still do it because it makes me like just keep training for something and keeps me healthy.
How long have you been
Otherwise,
training, Gony?
yeah.
How
Sorry.
long? How long have you been training, mate?
Uh, I started when I was like 16.
What, you've been training
17.
consistently since then, like proper training, yeah.
Yeah, well, some years train less than others, but started training physically when I was probably 18. Like, yeah, and then some years like really, really train hard, like almost every day with like a personal trainer, and also uh, traveling with a coach, and like filming and improving the technical, like a lot of training. It was pretty good. Then other years more mellow, and but it's normal. It's impossible to be like 15 years training, like you get
Yeah.
crazy. So you have to sacrifice a lot of things. And some years I was really like, okay, I really want to dedicate 100% to the comps and like train hard, and felt amazing, but also tiring, and sometimes you lose like that motivation, and you don't enjoy it as much. So with years you learn why it works for you, and and the limits. And I right now I'm training a lot, training a lot physically, almost every day too, with a really good coach, and not training as much technique, but training hits, still
Yeah.
training hits, and yeah, really enjoying it. But I think it's super important. Training is super important with the right people. You gotta find the right coaches uh, that push you, but in the right way, not
Yeah.
like that, because it's normal. It could happen that your coach get puts you down too. Like fuck. So it's really important to have the right people there, like to help you improve and to make you yeah more confident, and super important, like the psychological part for competitive surfing. So it's not only like physical training. No,
Yeah.
okay, you're training mental and what you eat too, and to be surrounded by the right people, right team behind, and yeah, I learned a lot during those years. But I think it's really important when you are with the right crew behind and you are giving 100%, you feel amazing, and you go to the comps like so confident. Even if you lose, you feel good because next week there's another comp and you're gonna perform. The
Yeah.
problem is when you know inside of you that you're not giving all you can, all you have, and you're
Yeah.
like and you only put in like 50%, and when you lose, you get frustrated because it's your fault. Sometimes you could be doing more. So that's when you're like, okay, it's not working. Why it's not working? You have to like reset and say, okay, I'm not training enough.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Boom. Or this, if that's what you want, this is what I want. Make me happy. Okay, boom. Other times you're training so much and then it's not working. Like, fuck, why? I'm not getting any results. I'm dedicating everything. I'm doing so much. So then you have to also think, all right, maybe it's not the right thing that what I'm doing. So I have to change some stuff, adjust, and maybe free serve more, and less training. Yeah. So yeah, but everybody's different, and you learn with time, and you have to listen to yourself because super important to know yourself.
And those are skills that you've learned through surfing that you can really apply to life and obviously business as well. That
Mhm.
ability to self-analyze and be like, hey, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And to be honest with yourself. And I think that's stuff that, yeah, obviously is important for your surfing career, but stuff that you can apply to real life as well.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you, like, we learned so much since we are kids because we were put into this surfing career competition. They're like, wow, like suddenly you're in crazy situations that you have to deal with, and you're like not ready. So so many give up, super like. So I'm proud of myself to be
Yeah, you
like
should be.
able to be consistent so many years there, fighting against the best in the world and
Fuck
being
yeah.
100 for over 10 years, and few years super close to qualifying.
I can't believe you
Missing
didn't
for like one
qualify,
hit.
mate. I can't
Huh?
believe you didn't. I can't believe you didn't qualify, mate. Like, obviously,
Yes, oh,
I'm
it
a
was
big surf fan.
close.
So I follow everything. Like, I literally follow it. Like, I'm fanatical. So, what year? Like, maybe 2011. I can't remember the actual
Yeah,
year, but
2009 was super close. It was the first time I was really close. I won Sarout, the 5-star there, and then got third in Pantene, fifth in Canaries, the Prime, ninth in Canada, and it's like, wow, only like I was. It was crazy, so close, man. For like, what if I go through one more hit in Canaries, I was in. But then in Hawaii, I lost in Haliban Sunset, and I just needed to get through a few hits. But it was super tough. Small Haliba, no priorities. Then sunset also small. Like in Hawaii, it's crazy. Like you can have a good. I got to the quarters in 2016. It
yeah,
was
I
epic.
remember watching
Yeah,
it.
it was epic. But also, it's hard to have a result there. Like it's like right, it's you can. I was happy when I got that result in Haliba because yeah, Hawaii is like probably the hardest place to get a good result. So, but yeah, when I got to that situation of like, wow, I'm so close. If I get through a few hits, I qualify. It's like
Yeah.
so much pressure. Like I was not really ready mentally to,
You're 24.
I was
To do 24.
shaking. 24. I was shaking like, and you do so many mistakes when you're like
Yeah.
away. And then a few years later, I was close to a few times. Yeah, 3 times.
Mm.
And but yeah, could have gone the right way. I didn't, but I learned a lot, and I'm like super stoked anyway because it was like they were epic years, and yeah, sick, good experience.
And I imagine that, like, from all the experiences that you've had, not just competition, I imagine that, like, the main cool things with, like, experiences like the trip to Fiji, living in the Volcom house right in front of pipe, and probably making all the friends that you've made. Like, obviously, competition's important, but all the things
Yeah,
that come along with traveling and being a pro surfer and just having that ability to meet so many people.
that's
I imagine.
what I keep, forever. That all those trips, all the people you meet, that like it's amazing. We are like a huge community and like really nice people. I made friends that my friends forever, and they're more than friends. They're family. I was talking to Pablo the other day, Pablo Gutierrez. I was saying to him like we are like family. We have lived like crazy things together, like traveling the world, competing, supporting each other, like suffering or like
He nearly
crazy
qualified
emotions,
too.
being super happy, then super down, and we are super close because we are really connected, like forever. Even if we don't see each other so much now, we're like when we see each other, we're like really like family, not like and not many people have that, like you can have friends, but good friends, but we have like really, 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 really close friends,
Like
like
brothers.
because we were like traveling for 10 years around the world, like, together, and you meet the people I have friends in Hawaii, Australia, South Africa, like really, really close friends, and the friendship changes, because we live like so many cool things together. And even if I see Daniel Jones like in 10 years, it's gonna be the same as before because we live together like an amazing thing. So that's that is gonna last forever, and that's what for me is the most important about the life, the surfing career. Like when you win a contest, okay, it makes you feel amazing and you achieve something that you were training for. But in the end, the most important for me is that all the people you meet, all the friends you make, all the places you see, and that's only possible because we were like getting paid to do that. Otherwise, it's impossible to travel the world like that. So yeah, I was super thankful for the life I could live, and all the opportunity that my sponsors gave me. The contest is just a little part of everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like, you've been with Volcom for a long time. When did you really start realizing that English was going to be important for your relationship with your sponsors, and then obviously important for your surfing career? When did you really just like think, shit, I really need to improve here, and I really need to work out of my English?
I was probably 16, 17, and I was in Australia and Narrowing, and I got off the water and I had like 10 cameras and people making an interview. Just when I was with my liker, I just won the World Juniors. I was like lost. I couldn't even think, like what am I gonna say? And they were asking me so many questions. Like, wow, couldn't even think. I was like, couldn't even talk. I was saying, I think I'm incredible. I can't believe. But yeah, I was like, wow, this is so important. Then when I went to English, so it was so important, to give a speech or something. But when I got the prize, I got the prize ceremony. I was like, wow, what I was gonna say. I was
Yeah.
trying to memorize the speech, like crazy. Yeah, I was so nervous. I remember, and after first time, I was the only European and then they were all speaking in English. They were Hawaiians, Australians, Americans, and shy time because of my English. I knew a lot and I understood everything, and I was good at writing and reading, but I didn't have that flow. So I had always had to think in Spanish and then translate in my head, and I was always late to the conversation. When I wanted to say something, they were already talking about something else. I was like, wow, crazy, because I felt like I couldn't express myself, and those like the team couldn't really meet me,
Yeah.
so I felt, wow, this is so important. I need to really have to step up and have to study more, like, and to lose that fear and just talk, even if I don't not saying it right, just try, because I was shy. I didn't want to say something that was wrong,
Yeah.
and in the end, you talk. So I like the people that even if they're saying it wrong, they talking and you understand each other.
Yeah.
So it's cool. But I was more shy, so it took me like a little while. But after, like, then when I started traveling, like in like 6 months, 1 year, I was talking. Yes, that's good. But because I studied a lot at school, and also like after school, I had a teacher also coming to my house and
Yeah.
just like talking a few times per week. And yeah, that's yeah, thanks to my parents that they thought about that.
Yeah.
And I had an English lady that was coming, and we were just talking for like 1 hour and a half. She was like, had like surfing magazines, and she was like asking me questions. We were talking about, yeah, everything. Like, what's
That's
this? Yeah, so sick, because yeah, my brother was talking about music or art with her, and I was talking about surfing. So like that,
epic.
we were talking about things I felt comfortable. So, and like, it was
Yeah.
a really good technique. And then she was like asking me random questions, but pretty cool. I said, "What's how you call this?" And I was like, "Oh, this is re-entry." And, oh, re-entry. Okay, that's pretty cool. And like, yeah,
Legend.
yeah, it was awesome. And it
Epic.
was, yeah, not just like a normal English class. It was like I had a magazine or a book, and we were going through it, and she was asking me so many questions, but questions that I knew in Spanish at least. And so yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
super cool. And
Yeah,
who was like the first like friend that you made, like real close friend speaking English?
speaking English, probably was Alex Gray. Yeah,
Yeah.
Alex Gray from California, and then Daniel Jones from Hawaii. Um, yeah, with those guys, I was talking a lot in English. And
Yeah.
then I had when I was 18, I had a girlfriend from Cape Town.
No way.
We met in Hawaii, so that helped me a lot, because we're not seeing each other so much, and we're always writing text. So that helped me a lot, improve a lot my English, because I was talking all the time to
That's so
that girl. Yeah, in
And like you went to when you were younger and you're going to Hawaii, and obviously being in the Volcom house, right? It must be quite intimidating because you've got like Ty Van Dyke, Kai Borg, you know,
English.
yeah, all of those guys that are like heavy characters. And obviously for you, it's not your first language, so I don't know. I can imagine there being like situations where I don't know, there's a
Yeah.
confrontation, or I don't know, I'd been like shitting myself, and English is my first language, so it must have been crazy if it wasn't your first language.
Super crazy, because yeah, I was way more intimidated, because you're like, wow, some things you don't understand, or something you can't really express yourself as you would in Spanish. Like, so I was like, wow, crazy, crazy. Like, not talking, just like just trying to disturb the minimum possible. Like,
Yeah,
but don't say anything that say stupid things. Like,
yeah.
respect. With years, they are so cool. Dave Wassel, always a legend.
He's the
And
funniest. He's
I
so funny. I love listening to him.
so
Like when he
funny,
was
Wassel.
commentating the Fiji Pro, I think he was commentating the Fiji Pro one year, the Volcom Fiji
Yeah,
Pro, and his commentating was so sick. There's a video on YouTube with him, just all the best things he says. fuck, he's funny. I love him. He's the funniest. What a legend.
Marcel is the boss. In Fiji, the first time I went, he was teaching me about seaweed, like saying when we were coming back from Cloud Lake to the island, like he's crazy fishing, always like diving and getting huge fish. It's like we call him Aquaman, and he's a lifeguard also in the North
Yeah.
Shore and Charger. And he was, yeah, we were surfing Cloud Lake. He was diving and like getting so much fish. And then we were on the boat coming back, and he was telling me, "Oh, I got this fish." And then like three sharks came to steal his fish, and he's like, "Oh, I had to punch the biggest one in the face and in the nose." So and then they all left. I was like, "Why, you
Holy
crazy man?"
shit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, talking like easy. That was normal." And then he was teaching me about seaweed. Agony, this good seaweed you can eat. One day you're like stuck in the ocean. Like, oh, yeah, legend. But yeah, Kyborg was super intimidating, and Chava too. Chava
Wow.
Grelli.
Wow.
Ivan Dyke too. Like is more like friendly and more.
Yeah.
Uh, Kai and Chava were really intimidating, but they're really nice people too. So it's all good with time. Like, and they like me. If you respect them, it's all good.
I,
You don't do stupid things. They're really nice people. They're like really really nice. But if you cross the line, they're gonna be like they don't stay quiet.
yeah.
They're like, and
I
I
like that.
understand. In
Yeah.
Hawaii, there are so many people. Like it's crazy. There's not like people like them that are a bit more like aggressive. But
Yeah.
I never had a problem, and I never seen
Never,
them.
ever had a
I
problem.
never
Yeah.
seen them like act stupidly. Like they were really nice, and they're like always like telling us like don't drop in, respect each other. They're like the ones that like say, look, this is how it has to be done. But then if people are being stupid, it's good that people like that are huge, and then it's good that they say, look, I don't like violence, but in that place sometimes it's a mess. And if they tell someone, look, you have to respect, go there or don't do this, and the guy doesn't say sorry and changes and replies like being super cocky,
Yeah.
and well, some people deserve a slap.
Yeah.
If
I think
the
it's safe.
local guy is telling you what to do, like,
From what
if
I
you don't
understand,
respect.
it's
Mm.
safety. Safety. Just being safe because it's dangerous surfing those crazy waves, and if people aren't behaving properly, and then you're putting someone
Yeah,
else's life in danger.
there's too many people there, and the waves are the heaviest waves in the world.
Uh,
So if you don't respect, you're gonna get hurt. So it has to be, rules, and you have to. And if you don't respect and cross the line, what you expect?
exactly. Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah,
And
that's understand. But
with
yeah, it
Rob,
was super. It was the scariest part was being in those houses, like, and
uh,
seeing in the garden Sunny Garcia, and they he's also really nice, but super intimidating.
yeah.
Seeing like Eddie Rosman and those guys like
Oh my
coming to the
God.
garden, just hanging out, because they come to check the waves. But you like wake up, go check the wave, and like to the garden, and you have Eddie Rosman. These guys are like, wow. You're like, oof, turn around, go back to the room. Phew, so yeah, it's pretty. Sometimes it's pretty heavy, but yeah, it's all good. But it's just in your head that wow, you have the image of those guys that you're seeing like pretty heavy situations, like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was super. Sometimes it was scary. You're like never 100% relaxed there.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah.
funny. Wow, that's crazy. This is
And
just like part of the culture.
but it's good. It was good too. Make me grow and make me uh who I am now. And I had to be always super respectful, and
Uh,
it's good. Like, yeah. But yeah, you can't really you have to wash your feet, you can't go inside the house with sand, like
uh,
little rules that you have to be careful. Sometimes you don't think, you're like, But no, they're gonna be like, why? What are you doing? Like, okay, yeah, but it's normal, you know. So many people like staying in the house and for like, you know, living together for months. So you have to, yeah, behave and and listen to them and yeah, follow their rules.
That's
Mm.
cool, man. That's epic. You've been with Volcom now for like, as you said, 22 years. Who are your like Volcom heroes? Like I've always associated Volcom with just always like a bit of alternative culture, like bit punk, a bit different, and that's been super attractive for me. Like for me, Bruce was like full hero for me, not just because how smooth his surfing was and how good of a surfer was his attitude as well. I loved his attitude and well, I still love his attitude, you know, and I think you go with Volcom really well because your surfing is kind of like it's punk. It's punk surfing. It's powerful. It's you know, it's really how would I say dynamic, you know? And I would say that for me, you really go well with Volcom, and it's a really good fit just because of your surfing style, and also, you know, you like the heavy metal music, and you know, you're
Mhm.
into it, and that goes pretty well with Volcom as well, you know. So
Yeah, I grew up with that too, with them and influenced by them. Um, but yeah, my favorites were Bruce Irons, of course, when I was younger. Bruce and Ty Van Dyke, Gavin Besson too, Dave Post.
I love
They,
Gavin Basham.
I,
Very
yeah,
unique
yeah,
style. Such a
crazy
unique
style,
style. Yeah.
so
Charges.
smooth, so charging and so smooth. Like
Uh,
the flow he has is crazy. And
mellow guy.
when you
Seems
surf with
mellow.
him, great. When you surf with him, it's even better. Like in real life, it's insane how Gavin surfs. It's
Oh my
like
god.
perfect style. He never pumps. It's just like, kind of like Karen, you know, like that kind of school. Barney for sure.
Rest in
Aussie
peace.
Wright, yeah. They're amazing people too. They were like not just like crazy surfers, like super unique styles
Artistic.
and personalities. Yeah, like always like spray painting their boards like with crazy things. Like yeah, at that time, you know, like that was like wow, these guys so artistic and like
Uh,
so creative, super. Yeah, they influenced me a lot. It was not just like how they surf. Also, they were like so different than the rest. That also their personalities. They're super cool people and super artistic. And yeah, that's why I love Volcom so much too because it had from since the beginning it had like that extra. Um, that's something that the other brands didn't have. It was
uh,
so unique and
uh,
artistic, and that the philosophy of the brand, you know, it's like so real,
yeah.
and the people behind were like so cool that I learned a lot from all of them, from
Yeah.
the main bosses and all the people involved that helped me out a lot. Simon Young, Mike Mailman, and Troy Ecker, Richard Woolcott, and those guys in America. They were like amazing people, and I learned a lot about about life because yeah, they really taught me a lot of things in those trips to Fiji and every time I was with them. Super nice people, like yeah, really good influences. That was lucky about Volcom. I'm always gonna be thankful because of not just the support they give me to travel and you know all the clothes, but the people I met in the they you know I learned a lot from them for forever. Yeah. Really great people. That's awesome.
Did you have much contact
Even
with? Did you have much contact with Dave Riddle?
yeah, Riddle, Riddle and his wife Katsuko. She's Japanese, and yeah, he's a legend. Riddle, he's been a Hawaiian legend for forever. He was the Andy Irons coach and Bruce Irons and all the best Hawaiian kids, you know. And when we are in Hawaii, he's helping us doing the Triple Crown. You know, he's a super nice guy to have next to you before before the hits. Always give you like good advice. And I remember the first time I went to Japan to the 6,000. It was a 6 star at the time in Tahara. Riddle was there with Katsuko, and he helped us a lot. I was staying with the Volcom team, with the Volcom Japan guys, and Riddle was there coaching us. Dustin Quizon won the contest, and I
What a
got
ripper.
ninth. Yeah, Dustin was a ripper, super short and like
Yeah.
skinny, and when the waves were small, he was unbeatable. And yeah, he was funny, Dustin. And
That's cool.
suddenly he was super close to qualifying. It was like the next big thing, and then in the end he never made it. He was so close, and then suddenly he quit. He's like, stay home, cruising, had
Yeah.
babies, and
It's not a bad
yeah,
place to live and just live a nice
no,
lifestyle.
yeah, he's just
That's
cruising.
That's cool. And like for
Yeah.
me, just speaking about Volcom again, about like how different they are and how unique the brand is, and how I think that goes well with you, is like when I look at you and I just associate with your boards a Volcom sticker on the nose, cemente, like I say it, the S of cemente, and a fucking electric eyewear, and that's just like pretty iconic for you as well because your stickers have always been really similar, all the same sponsors, really
Yeah,
in general. Um,
yeah, for many years. Like electric, after I had to change, but I changed to Oakley. I was Oakley when I was a kid, then changed to Arnett. Then Arnett finished. Then they created electric. Then I was electric for so many years, but then they started making watches, and I was riding for Nixon also for like 15
Sick
years.
brand.
So, like, amazing brand. So I couldn't be with both. So then stay with Nixon and had Oakley again, but Nixon also 15 years,
Wow.
crazy, crazy brand too. We went to the craziest places. We went to Kamchatka in Russia, Hainan in China, Norway, no, Iceland. Uh, Insane trips, Nixon challenges, and the comps in San Sebastian they were doing like insane. They
Yeah.
treat us like friends, like family, and yeah, I was super lucky with the brand and the sponsors I had,
Oh, that's
and yeah,
And what movie, like out of all the Vulcan ones, because when I was growing up, I'm just thinking for me, Magnaplasm was a big one for me when I was a grown. There was one, I don't know if you remember, Football Schmuckball. Do you remember that one? That was sick. I remember
with
my whole thing from that one was Bruce Irons was brushing his teeth and they were like, spell your name or say your name and spell it. And Bruce goes, are you fucking kidding me? It's so funny.
every,
That was
those guys were so
what
good.
other
Like
ones were my favorite?
the best movies, the best movies for sure.
Creepy
Magnaplasm,
Fingers.
Magnaplasm for
Creepy
me still
Fingers.
the best. Still the best. I was 13 years old and I was competing in the under 14 Quicksilver Grumps in Capretone, and they were playing Magnaplasm like the first time in Europe. It was like a premiere, and Volcom didn't even have an office in Osegor.
Wow.
The premiere was at the Arnett office,
Wow.
and there was like a cinema on top, like little cinema on top, and we were there, like, and so I watched Magnaplasm, and that I couldn't believe, man. Like the Bruce part with like Buenas tardes, amigo, that song from Ween,
Yeah.
Mundo, like slow motion, like he's like the best style ever. And
Uh,
those like plastilina, como dice, how you say
yeah.
plastilina?
Plasticine. Plasticine.
Plasticine? Yeah, plasticine. Plasticine figures like
Uh,
animated, like sick. And yeah, I still watch Magnaplasm like every now and then. I just put in Google and YouTube and what also Barney's part and this. But yeah, then Aussie's 1,156 tricks, amazing.
so,
Football smoothball, crazy pipe parts from Bruce, and then the Bruce movie is crazy.
oh my god, I watched
Also,
that. I watched that a million times. I could watch that like another
yeah,
million times. I love it.
also crazy part from Pipeline.
Mm.
With the best music like CKY, yeah, always like crazy music. Also, uh, what's this one? What's the name? Psychic Migrations.
That's
The
really
new it's like not so old.
good.
It's like 3 years old maybe. And there's part in Chile. where you see Ryan Birch and Aussie. They're shaping a twin fin and surfing this crazy long left, like bar, like insane music, and they're just like whoosh, flowing, going down the line so fast.
Uh,
That's
that
that
Ryan Pitch is
really is
crazy.
great.
He's gnarly with those like different boards and those asymmetrical balls. They're fucking wild.
Symmetrical. Yeah, that's great.
I think
And then
you got a big barrel in Creepy Fingers. I think you got a big barrel in Creepy Fingers at Backdoor. Do you remember Creepy Fingers?
yeah. Couple Fingers, also sick
Yeah.
movie. I'm super proud of having that barrel there in that
At
video. Like,
Backdoor.
it's so in the Hawaii part, it's not like an air or something. It's like well, at the time was the barrel I ever got. So I was 20 years old or 19, and that's not a backdoor. It's Rocky Rides, and it looks
Okay.
like backdoor.
Okay. I
Like
thought it
everyone thinks it's backdoor, but it's like Rockies. And Mikala Jones and Daniel, they were in Flynn Novak. They were like, wow. There's like they say it was one of the best riders they ever saw at Rockies.
wow.
And they live in front. Like we were so lucky, man, because yeah, we were kind of alone that day. Everybody they were surfing pipeline, um, and yeah, we piled out at like dark. And I remember O'Day was the first one out, and it was like kind of dark, and Mikala was having a coffee in the garden and looking at the waves. They was like, "Oh, I'm going now and now." And Mikala's like, "What size board you riding?" They said, "Um, 5'11", 6'0", and Mikala is like 6'0". I think it's too small. And others like, no, because it was kind of dark, so it didn't look as big. And they went first wave, broke in half, came running, and I was like still getting ready, and I was like, wow, it's so solid. I was like, wow, okay. So I paddled out with I had a 6'8".
Wow.
Yeah,
And he was
right
on a
now
6-0.
I would have brought like a 6'3", 6'2", um, but yeah, 6'8", and super narrow and thin. But yeah, that barrel is I was riding a 6'8", and yeah, Mikala said it was like one of the uh, best waves he ever seen there. Like that morning was like one of the that's as good as it gets. He said he told us doesn't get like this so often. And it was the same morning that Malik passed away. He
Really?
drowned pipe. Yeah, we were surfing at the same time, but Malik was at pipe. We were Rockies. Aritz, Odey, Jonathan, Pablito. We were surfing Rockies. And yeah, super sad because we just got out of the water, went to Test Bakery to get some food, and we were like seeing like helicopter ambulances passing like we were like wow, something happened. And when we walked back to the house, we saw so many people in between Rockies and Pipe Beach Park, so many people like swimming, and then on the beach they're looking for Malik, and they found him, but it was too late. And yeah, a Brazilian guy came to walking, and he said, we asked him, and he said, no, it was Malik. And like, we couldn't believe yeah, it was gnarly, man. And it was not huge. It was like 6 foot, 6 to 8 foot. For
Class.
Hawaii, it's normal, but just unlucky.
Uh,
The lip hit him, and then hit the rocks. And the problem was that his leash snapped. Otherwise, he would have stayed in the same place, and it was gonna be easier to find him. But then broke the leash, so the current took him towards Rockies, and no one could find him.
shit.
And Hawaii was pretty gnarly. That year was super intense. Steve Clements also, like 5 days before that, we were surfing off the wall. It was pretty heavy, and then Johnny and Steve Clements were paddling out in between backdoor and off the wall. It's super shallow, and then white water came. They did the duck dive together, and suddenly when Johnny like passed it, looked back, and Steve Clements was unconscious, like this,
Oh my god.
like unconscious. He must hit the reef with his head, maybe duck dive, and boom,
Oh,
hit the head and got unconscious. And Johnny tried to help him, but it was so hard to get him out of the water alone, and so much. They imagine like white water, something like, and he couldn't. he couldn't get him out by himself, and then a lifeguard, I think, or someone from the beach jumped in and helped Johnny to get him out, but he was unconscious, and and then he was fine, but had like water in his lungs and everything, but had to go to the hospital and everything. And if Johnny wasn't close to him, maybe it was too late too. Like really gnarly. Johnny, I remember after Malik died, he changed his flight, went home. He's like,
Really?
I don't want to be here.
Uh,
Like, after like saving Steve Clements and Malik died, like he we still and we were still competing at Sunset, but he just went home. Like fuck.
it's understandable.
Yeah, it's like super gnarly that year. And yeah, and Steve Clements every time like he talks about Johnny. When I see him, he's like, "Oh yeah, Jonathan saved my life."
Uh,
And he was having a baby, Kobe
at the
Clements.
time,
Yeah, that year, like a month after,
oh
and
my god,
he writes for Volcom, his kid now.
that's so
Kobe
sick.
Clements. Yeah, crazy,
Fuck. Oh my
crazy.
god, that's
Yeah.
wild. And mate, I'm not gonna keep you too long, man. I know it's quite late. I appreciate all the fucking sick stories. It's epic. I've just got a couple more little questions for you, mate. Um, like, what do you think now about the Groms in Spain and like the future generations? And like, where do you think Spanish surfing is going? Do you think we'll see anyone on the CT? Who's exciting you at the moment? Who do you like watching? I know that everyone looks up to you. So I remember like at the Santa Marina contest recently, all like Nestor and Luis and all the guys, they were all Fegro, of course, were all like just so just psyching on because you were surfing like massive Santa Marina, like it was like a beach break. You were doing those turns right in the pocket, surfing what we ran like a 6'8" or a 6'6" maybe.
Yeah. At Santa Marina, I rode 6'6" first heat, and then it changed to 6'8".
Well, it was like you
That
were surfing.
black one, the black one with the yellow
Yeah.
red, they was brand new. I was like, wow, 6'6" felt pretty loose. I'm gonna try this one, and it's brand new. First wave got a 9 that off the lip. So cool,
Yeah.
man.
And it was like you were surfing that 6'8", like it was like a 5'11". Like I was like, what is he doing those turns right there? It was massive.
Yeah, that board felt amazing. So cool, Santa Marina. It's like a massive wave, but it's high performance. You
But
can actually do turns. I was impressed, man. And barrels. And it was cool to have fake crew as Caddy and Mario. The guys were amazing. And Nestor. But yeah, the kids are ripping. I was super impressed with fake crew in the Maldives. We went together last year in a boat trip, on a boat trip, and it was really nice to see. He was so solid, and one day he was like solid 6 foot, bigger, 8 foot, and he was charging,
really,
and he was not scared, So it was super nice to
uh,
see him like with that attitude and that approach. Really good backside, so good too.
great style.
Yeah, great style, like great balance, like kind of like Julian, super low.
Uh,
Also, yeah, Mario Racine is always serves really nice, smooth, and Nestor, it's crazy how he improved. I was, I was not. He beat me. He beat me twice, I think, already. Yeah,
he's leading,
and
isn't he? He's leading the
even the
circuit.
national tour, like, and won Cadiz, like, and out of nowhere, like nobody really saw it coming. It's like Nestor serves okay, does like some crazy turns sometimes, but I was like like, wow, he rips like whoosh,
Uh,
like weird, like more like wide stance and but solid, and he's so tall now, and like it's really nice to see like the new kids. Also, Yago Dominguez is crazy how he surfs. Like does skateboarding, snowboarding, like really good. He's from Sopelana and like
he just released an edit, I think.
crazy airs. Like, and then the Matrain and the Odriozola, like there's so much talent, and yeah, it's amazing to see the level of Spain. They went to the World Juniors in California, and they were destroying, like in the girls too. The girls from the Canaries, there's like, and I don't know. I think it's a really good generation. Like after us, there was like a gap, really big one. After Arit, Sode, and me, we had Pablito and Johnny and Kepa and Neko. Then after us, there's like something missing there, and now there's like really good kids, and it's really nice to see, and girls and boys. So I think we have a really bright future ahead, and and yeah, if they keep, but in the end, you never know. The most important it's that next step when you like finish your junior career to when you go to the open career. Like Michel Bourret, for example, was not winning any juniors, and suddenly when he turned 19 or 20, started like booming, like, and then qualified and never dropped from the CT.
Yeah.
So in the end, he can be a really good junior, but then get stuck in that level, and then so it can happen that you are not the favorite, or and then you keep improving and the others don't. So you never know who's gonna be in the, like can fight for the city, and it's a question of time and a question of many factors. But yeah, it's cool to see there's so many kids like with like great talent and support and motivation. It's hard times now with sponsors that,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they will. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. The Spanish Federation has more more budget now and more help, more support, and they can yeah do the right thing and try and make like a team and support the best juniors. I think it's going the right path.
Cool, man.
Mm.
Epic. Yeah. It's sick to watch all the Groms around here
Yeah,
ripping
so,
and just frothing, and they just love it so much. That's I
yeah,
love surfing with all the like I love surfing with Nestor and Luis Bolado because they just froth and I just froth, and it just so enjoyable just surfing with the Groms. Like I love it. So
yeah,
old guys just talking to you about life, and you're like, fuck that. I just want to surf and be with the Groms. Go, look at this one. Oh, that one's a bolt. Oh, that one. Yeah, it's
yeah,
way more fun with the Groms.
yeah. Not complaining about politics or stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I want to surf to just get away from all that shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
uh, what would you say then about like to the Groms about like learning their English and fucking working hard on their English and really like getting to a good level?
Um, yeah, my advice, for them is to keep studying, keep studying English because it's super important for their future, not just in surfing, they for everything and for communicating with like the friends they're gonna make around the world. And it's super important friends like as much as possible and practice it as much as possible because uh, you lose super quickly. So if they have friends and they can talk often, that's super important. I think, yeah. I was lucky enough to have to make English friends and or girlfriend and keep practicing. So yeah, for me that's the best advice. Keep studying English and they're not gonna regret
Exactly. Yeah.
for sure.
Consistency is the
Mm,
key. I always tell people just be consistent. Be consistent.
yeah.
Yeah. Same with anything. And what's in the future for you then, mate? I mean, you're 35 now. What
Yeah.
What are you thinking about the future? What about the next 5, sort of 10 years? What like you live? Are you living in Editheda now, or?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I live in everywhere, but yeah, Ericeira, Galicia, all the time. Going, it's like only 4 hours. But yeah, I have my parents moved to Ericeira a few years ago, so yeah, I spend a lot of time in Ericeira, and also because Cemente surfboards are here, so I'm working super close to Nick, and um, but yeah, my base is Ericeira and Vigo, and then the rest, the whole west coast, basically the whole west coast of the peninsula Iberian, and then the rest of the world. But yeah, I love it. He's amazing for surfing and a great surfing community, great people. And Galicia, love it more for like surf trips, more adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Sick.
great friends, and it's my home. I feel, it's what I feel Gallego. So
Yeah,
yeah, I grew up in Vigo, and yeah, I spent the most time of my life in Galicia.
cool, man.
Yeah, and the future, my future plans. And now keep training. Try to, when the comps come back, try to get good results and try to be in the Spanish team, to go to the ISA World Championship, to try qualify for the Olympic Games
Yeah,
in Tokyo. And I still, feel great. Feel like if I am 20. So yeah, or even better, smarter, more knowledge. Uh, yeah, more experience, and not doing stupid things. So feeling great, surfing good. I think working a lot on surfboards and trying to get the best quiver and to get ready for the next events. And working a lot physically to be as good as I can be, as in my best shape.
yeah, sick, mate.
And then keep working also in jam, and keep growing and enjoying life.
That's sick, mate. That's so sick. And
Mm.
I'd be so stoked to see you make the CT, mate. I know a lot of people would be super stoked to see you make the CT. I think it'd be like unbelievable because I think you deserve it, and you're one of the best surfers to ever come out of Europe. One of the most exciting to watch. Like a lot of the times when I'm watching your surfing, loving those like surfing those right points down where you live, especially that Ribeira wave looks unbelievable for turns, and those carves that you do, those big hacks, just fucking tearing the bag out of it. And it'd be so sick to see you on the CT, mate.
See, thanks, Robbie. Yeah, gotta come visit.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, the point breaks are amazing, man. Like Coachos, Rivera, if there's so many point breaks here and so rippable. And it's good for carves. Really good like walls for, especially for carvings. And to work on big lines and how to put the rail. I think it's the best place in Europe.
Oh my God, especially with your dad filming you every day.
Yeah,
I love watching your Instagram and his Instagram and
yeah.
just seeing how like those rights and you just going to town on those things. And I
And
love.
visit us, whenever you want.
Cool,
Bring
man.
your surf.
Fuck yeah. Cool, man. Well, I think we're good, mate? That was so sick. I really appreciate
Cool.
your time, mate. And
Sweet.
I'll
Yeah, you got some good stuff there for sure.
epic,
Some
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
more.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. I really appreciate everything. And I just hope you keep living your life and
No worries.
the business goes well. I follow you guys quite a lot. And
Yeah, we get doing like we're gonna do some epic stuff, new things coming, and trying to create like a more sustainable deck pad out of cork and recycled plastic. It takes a while. It's gonna be like it's gonna take a while to get the right product, but it's pretty sick. It's super interesting to try make something more sustainable, and it's the next step for Jam, and we are working on it. And pretty excited. Like
that's cool.
it's gonna be sick. Yeah, like, pretty
You've
sick.
got the best life. You've worked hard for it as well. You've worked super hard for it, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's sick that you've got the best like happy vibe as well. And yeah, it's just a pleasure to fucking spend a bit of time with you, mate.
Thanks, Robbie. It was really nice talking to you too.
Thanks.
And when next time I'm in Somo and or around there,
Have
I
a
let you
beer,
know.
mate.
We
Yeah,
go
have a
for a beer
beer.
and with Pablito, and then go
Fuck
for a
yeah.
surf. Okay, for
Fuck
sure.
yeah. For sure,
And
mate.
keep up the good work. It's pretty sick. My mom loves it too.
Oh,
She laughs
really?
so much.
Sylvia, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
what a
always
legend.
laughs so much because when you make fun of like the mistakes we do, like Spanish people, like it's so good, man. So good.
Mate, mate, I've been going mad on TikTok. Have you heard that TikTok thing?
Yeah. I know
A
I don't have
million.
it, but my friend Guillermo Carracedo, he's like wow, Robbie's crazy in TikTok, has millions of followers. And I'm like, what, TikTok? You're crazy. I'm too old for that. Like, just laughing. He said, you like have like millions of followers.
Yeah, mate, it's crazy. And I just do I'm just like, no se dice eso. Listen to Robbie V. It's classic.
So sick. I have
Uh,
to see. I have
it's
to see
classic.
those TikToks.
Cool,
Class.
man. Take
All
care,
right,
brother.
Robbie. Keep in touch, man.
Yeah, brother. Take care, mate.
Ciao. Good
Thanks,
night.
brother. Good
No
night, brother.
worries. Ciao.
Yeah.